Hi there. This is a pork roulade I put together here. Roulade is a dish that's cooked on and served in the form of a roll, kind of rolled up with, in this case with some filling inside. Can be a piece of fish or a flat piece of meat or whatever, that sort of thing. And in this case, I used quite a few different herbs. Finely chopped them, going in different directions. There you can see I've chopped them up fairly finely, and then flatten out the pork with a tenderizer. I use a beef tenderizer, just the flat side, but you could use a rolling pin if you want to, or some other hard object that will do it for you. The actual filling, I didn't season that because the feta already is a fairly salty. I just took the fat and the skin off the pork tenderloin. I used a couple of them to make enough for a few people, and then I put plastic down. Plastic actually stops the pork from sticking to the chopping board and to your mallet or to the tenderizer as you're banging it out, flattening it out. So that's how I did that. And the tying process is something that I want to explain. Once we get to that, I put half of the filling in this pork tenderloin and half in the other one, of course, and then rolled them up. And I'll show you the tying process on the next one. You can use the plastic to help you roll these up too, but it's pretty simple. You want to be careful that your pork tenderloin doesn't break in the middle, and that will keep it together while you do the cooking process. So this particular one, I don't know if it's anything like a suture that doctors do. I don't think so. But anyway, you tie one end firmly, and then you just basically use a little slip knot as you go along. So tie that end. Tie a loop so you can pull that firm. Not too hard, of course, because you don't want it to cut into the meat too much. But if you go under the meat and then loop it through, you can just pull that tight, and then carry on along as you repeat the same process. So that's how I tie the pork, and then it's an attractive way to use pork tenderloin because the filling is nice and colorful, green and white. And of course, the pork having such an earthy flavor goes really well with feta and the fresh herbs. The herbs, particularly with a fair bit of thyme in there. I use predominantly thyme. You want to make sure you definitely get thyme in there. And the beets I put in boiling water while I'm cooking the meat here. Those are fairly easy to peel once they're cooked for 30 minutes or so, depending on the size of the beets, of course. You want to, I just put them straight in the sink, pour cold water, and then the beets are still hot, but with cold water running over them, they're not going to burn your hands or anything, and then just squeeze them and the skin kind of peels off. It should slide off fairly easily if they're cooked. So I just quartered those, and then I tossed them in a pan with some butter and oil, just to give them a little bit of color and flavor as well, additional color and flavor. And I put those in with the mixed greens to make it a beet salad type of thing. Rest the pork a little bit before you cut it up. So rest that about 5 minutes so that the moisture stays inside. And then cut them fairly thick. You don't cut it too thin or it will fall apart. And then just lay out 3 or 4 pieces of that for a portion, and the beets salad. I make my own pesto, but it's fairly easy to put basil, olive oil, and some pine nuts in a blender and mix up your own pesto if you wanted to. And also, I just used a packet jus, or you can just use gravy, whatever sauce you want, red wine sauce or whatever takes your fancy. So enjoy.